Welcome to Motions Monday, where we look at an emotional word of the day. We define that word according to the dictionary definition. We describe that word according to what it looks like in daily living. And then we make a decision if we're going to increase or decrease or eliminate that emotion based on if it's a positive or negative emotion, if it's helpful or hurtful to us and to our progress. So the emotional word of the day is condemned. That word seems so final, like a decision has been made and that's it, and there's no reversing that decision. It's a word that most people don't want to hear, and it's an emotion that you definitely do not want to walk around feeling on a constant basis. It's one of those emotions that's pretty heavy, the idea of being condemned. So let's see what the dictionary definition of condemned means. According to the dictionary by Random House, it is to express complete disapproval of, typically in public, censure, prove or show the guilt of someone in a particular punishment, especially if it's condemned to death, like the death penalty. Now, we're going to take a lighter spin on that one and just talk about what that looks like in daily living to be condemned or walk around with the emotion of being condemned. This is one of the easiest ways to give an explanation of this. In daily living, to be condemned is like when people are judging you, when they're talking about you, when they've made a decision about your character or your motives based on something that occurred. So there was an outcome, and now someone has a judgment made. They're condemning you because they're like, well, because of the outcome, they think that you're a certain type of person. They might think that there's a flaw in your character. They might think that you don't adhere to the same value system that they have. And the problem with condemnation, or to be condemned, is that it is something that other people make you feel, and it is something that you can make yourself feel based on not reaching the mark, based on feeling like I had a standard, there was something that I valued, whether it was a moral standard, right, or just something that was important, a principle that was violated, a standard that was not met, a promise to other people that was not kept. And there's this sense of, well, now you're being condemned because you can't make that, because you didn't keep your word, because you violated a principle, because you went against what everybody else thinks that you're supposed to do. And somehow you are now the object of their disapproval. They are cutting you off. They are complaining. They are making a decision about something that you did because they did not approve of it. It didn't jive with what, it did not coincide with what they think you should be doing. It didn't fit what everybody else was doing. It didn't fit what they thought you should be doing. And so that is when people become judgmental. That's when people try to put you down or try to accuse or try to condemn. And that is a really tough place to be because most human beings want the approval of others. We want the acceptance of others. We want to be included. We want to know that we're doing the things right, right? To feel like an outsider, to feel like you're going against the grain is a really tough place to be because you're uncertain if you're doing the right thing. And now people are telling you that you're not, and they're challenging your ideas, your thoughts, your beliefs. They might be challenging something that you've been set in your heart to do for a long time. And because it's not something that they would have done or the way that they would have done it, they're now showing you disapproval when you want approval. And so therefore it's causing this emotion of feeling condemned. So when someone is condemned in life, it's usually much more lighter than this idea of being condemned to death. That's a sentence, that's a punishment that's put in some states that still have the death penalty, or in some countries that still practice that. But when we talk about condemned, when it relates to emotion, it's a longer kind of feeling of being outside, a longer punishment in people's minds, because it's this idea that you're being separated from the people you want to be with. It's this idea of being an outsider, which could be being a maverick in terms of starting something that's never been done before, or because now you're not accepted, now you're not part of the clan, the tribe, the group, the family, you miss out on all the benefits of having been a part of that. And so this idea of being condemned is that it causes loneliness, it causes uncertainty, it causes the sense of being rejected. And that's why it's such a hard emotion, because it comes with usually a loss of something. And the punishment is this idea that you can't go back to something that was healthy and good and that you enjoyed, because you made a decision that went against what other people would approve of, what other people would think was a good or positive decision. And so now you're left by yourself without what you normally have had, the resources, the family, the connection, the love, the support. But now you also are still trying to pursue the thing that they are condemning you for, or maybe it was something that you did that you actually do regret doing, that you're not happy about, and you're trying to make up for it. You're trying to get forgiveness, you're trying to be restored, you're trying to make things right. But the problem with being feeling condemned is that it makes you have the sense that things can't get fixed, that they can't be made right, that you can't be restored. And that's why it's such a negative and such a hard emotion, because it has this sense of, well, it's going to be impossible. They'll never accept me. I'll never be able to fix the relationship. They won't forgive me. Or even worse than thinking that other people won't forgive you not forgiving yourself, you condemning yourself. You're not giving yourself a chance to restore your integrity, your relationship with yourself, your confidence in your abilities, to allow yourself to empathize with the fact that whatever you did was maybe not the best way to do it. Maybe it was not a good thing to do, but that doesn't mean that you are overall bad person or that you can't change. Because if you feel remorse, there's always the ability to change. If you see where you went wrong and the impact of what was done, there is a chance to come back. There is a chance to be forgiven, to make things right, to make things change. There is a chance to something good can come out of something so bad, but it takes being able to allow yourself the ability to be forgiven, to be restored. Allow yourself to not live with or hold on to this emotion of feeling condemned, because it is a very heavy emotion, and it doesn't give you the space to be able to say, okay, how do I fix this now? You can get stuck in this emotion if you are not working on allowing this emotion to pass and then saying, okay, maybe I did the wrong thing. How do I make it right? Right? Accepting responsibility, but then forgiving yourself, seeking forgiveness, and then making things right. It doesn't have to be this emotion that takes root and stays in your life, and now it separates you from the people that you love, or it leaves you feeling out of connection with yourself because you're so busy condemning yourself that you're not allowing to be loved. You're not loving yourself. Okay, so when we look at how do we decrease this emotion, usually I ask you the question if you want to increase or decrease this emotion, but this one is a very dangerous emotion, and we definitely want to decrease and eliminate this sense of being condemned, of condemnation, because it's going to take away all of your emotional energy to build your life, to move forward, to make change, to feel like there's a sense of hope, to not feel helpless. And so we want to look out for this emotion. This is probably one of those dangerous emotions because it can get you stuck. It can cause depression, it can cause anxiety, it could cause a sense of helplessness. And we don't want any one of those emotions to stay. And so we're not going to let condemnation stay so that the other ones don't follow, those other negative emotions that would follow the sense of being condemned. And it's important to be clear in terms of reducing this emotion and eliminating this emotion that other people can have their emotions, their opinions, and their judgments. But ultimately, the decision is, what are you going to do about that? Are you going to embrace their emotions, their judgments, their opinions? Or are you going to now say, okay, what? They have their judgments, they have their opinions, but I don't have to take those on. Those don't have to become my judgment and opinion of myself. I don't have to sit with this emotion of feeling condemned because it doesn't serve you, right? Feeling condemned does not serve you in the long haul. It may help you to realize what happened if you did something that was hurtful or damaging, and you may feel a sense of remorse. But now, to be able to bounce back from that and to be able to make positive changes, you can't hold on to the emotion of feeling condemned. So the question is going to be, how are you going to handle it? How are you going to handle people's opinions and judgments so that it doesn't crush you, doesn't get you stuck, doesn't cause other negative emotions to rise up? And then the other question is the people who are passing the judgment or their opinions, have they earned the right to judge your life? Are they people that you are family? Are they close? Are they people that care about you and the opinion that they made is out of a genuine concern for you? Are they people that are going to be there to help restore you? Are they going to help to make this right with you? Right? Are they worth the opinion and the weight that you're giving their opinion? Right? Does their opinion matter to you? And why does it matter? Asking yourself that question is important because what you want to do is not be held down by this emotion of feeling condemned. You want to be able to, if you did something, right, that was harmful or hurtful, you want to be able to be restored. You want to be able to fix it. And just holding on to this negative emotion and allowing the door to be open to lots of other negative emotions is not helpful, and it's not productive, and it serves to increase the emotion of feeling condemned. We can decrease it by making a decision that this emotion of being condemned does not serve you to build, to move forward, to grow, to learn, to stretch, to heal, and to be connected once again to the people you want to be connected with. So begin today by making decisions to not hold on to this feeling, to forgive yourself, to seek forgiveness of those who are worth seeking forgiveness from, and to begin to rebuild, reconnect.